So today might just be my oddest adventure yet. And by odd, I mean really odd. It could be the oddest book signing in history. Because today, I am going to the House of Oddities and Curious Goods in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Let's go on an odd journey, guys. Hey guys, Tanner here with an awesome looking cool microphone. Like seriously, check this out. This right here is courtesy of my man Wham Stand, and this episode isn't sponsored by Wham Stand, but guys, if you want some super cool looking professional content creating tools and comic book stands, he's your guy. Check him out. Welcome back, guys, to Uncapped. It is my series where I talk about my entrepreneurial journey, my business vlog, if you will, and today we're going to talk about my second ever event, which was held at the House of Oddities and Curious Goods in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. How did I do? Did I make profit? Well, we're going to talk about that, so stick around. So the day started off. It was beautiful, a day in November. You would think it would start being cold here in Pennsylvania, but it was actually kind of nice. So I think I just had a light jacket. I got in my car, had all my stuff. This was my second ever event. So I had just come off of my first event at Basler, which if you guys haven't seen the video of how that went, you can check that out. It's the very first installment of this series. So I was just coming off the high of my first ever event. This event was a free event for me. I actually was kind of friends with the Oddities Museum curator, Jeremiah. He's awesome. So I reached out to him when I was looking for places to do book signings, and I'm like, you know what? This could be cool. An Oddities Museum, you know, a pencil superhero is kind of odd. So we kind of like leaned into that when we were doing our advertising for the event. I did Night of the Living Pencil, and it was actually during the day. This event was from like 12 because the museum opened at 12, and it went till about like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening when he closed. And yeah, it was a beautiful day for this event. So even though it wasn't a night, it was the day of the living pencil. So I just parked, and look at this. It's a parking meter. I'm gonna put a quarter in there, and it's 5 hours. That's nice. So when I got there, I parked the car, put my coin in the meter, took my card out, got everything in, started carting it to the museum. Jeremiah was there. He actually had a friend there too, and they were chatting, so they helped me get set up. I laid out my table. My table looked a little bit different because it was a smaller table. I had to put stuff up on the countertop right next to me. And overall, it was an okay display. Was it my favorite display that I've ever done? No. But still pretty good for my second ever display. I always try to make it look as nice as possible. So, yeah, didn't know what to expect when I went into it. Got set up and just kind of took some time to walk around this awesome museum. Now, if you've never been to an Oddities museum, think classic freak show circus, where they have those attractions, the two-headed cows and pigs. Now sometimes, and I've been to one in real life at a fair a long time ago, they actually did have two-headed animals that were alive. This is more the odd stuff, things in jars, body parts, so I put that there. They're not real. Well, not all of them, but that kind of oddities. And then he also has some things that you would expect at freak show. He had a giant in a sarcophagus, giant, which is pretty cool. One of the coolest things there. He's had memorabilia from other circus acts and great oddities experts, and then he just has a bunch of odd stuff, like odd knickknacks and, you know, kind of like those really fun things that you would put on like a sign for a roadside attraction. It would be like, come see the living frog man, or, you know, the frog people. And it's a really cool place though. If you guys are into oddities, not just the spooky oddities, but like the odd oddities, those that are gonna make you go, huh? He's got his fair share of cursed dolls and serial people from jail and everything. True crime, I should say. But it's a museum that you know, he's got something for everybody. Every person who collects oddities can find something really cool at Jeremiah's fun little museum, and it's free to go to. He has like a donation thing. That's how he basically sustains it. But he's also a store. So on top of all the cool oddities that you can go around and view in display case, he actually has some for sale too. He has like a whole display case full of oddities to buy, like a Bigfoot casting, like from one of the molds of the tracks. He also has like a bunch of those novelties, the Bigfoot action figures, squirrel underpants, a lot of stuff like that. Basically what you could expect to find in an oddities store, Jeremy sells there. So definitely go check out this awesome museum. So after all that, that's all I gotta say about it. After I toured the museum, I got myself ready. Pencil Man came out, and I sat at the table. And it was a decent day for traffic. Again, I put up a post, and we advertised that I was going to be there, but half the people that showed up didn't even know that I was going to be there. I had a couple from New York come in. They actually bought my comic book. I had a couple other people come in. I'd say out of all the people that came in, only about 2 or 3 of them knew that I was going to be there that day, and they brought their kids. And obviously this museum, kids can go to it. It's not like it's not appropriate for kids, but it is weird. And a lot of kids, they're scared of the museum. So I didn't expect a lot of kids to show up, but it was still a fun little place and a fun museum and an odd signing out of all the things I could have done. And I think that really stands out. I like to do things that are outside the box. And I think Pencil Superhero, Oddities Museum, it just it goes together. It's odd, but it works. At some point, though, we hit a lull, and I decided, you know what? I'm in my costume. It's a nice day outside. I'm not going to roast alive in the costume, but I'm not going to freeze in the costume. So I went out, and I waved at cars. And I was out there for, it was a while, but it was a lot of fun. I was waving to cars. They were honking at me. And we were having a good old time, doing the good old-fashioned, hey, guys, look, I'm here, You got to do what you got to do as a pencil superhero to bring in those people, see your new comic book that's, just came out a week ago. It was a good time. And I'd say over the course of the day, I sold 3 standard comic books and 1 keychain. So my total for the day was $35. And again, it was a free event, so I didn't have to pay to be there. Jeremiah only wanted a signed copy for me being there for the day, so I signed that copy, and it's in the museum to this day. He has it on display kind of behind his little register area. Pretty awesome. And it was a good day to make connections. Me and Jeremiah really just hit it off, and he was all concerned. He wasn't sure how many people were going to come in. It was hit or miss at this time of the year, November, just past October, which is his busiest time of the year, because October's and oddities and scary, spooky stuff, because he's got that kind of stuff in there. So he did, at the end of day 1, reach out with an idea. But for this day, I sold $35 worth of my own merch. I was still nowhere near getting caught up from my initial startup fees, but hey, it's a start. And I thought that was just going to be where it was. But no, Jeremiah stopped me at the end, and he's like, you know what? I want to see how you would do on a second Friday. You see, in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, every second Friday, they do a themed Friday for small businesses in the area. And they do a scavenger hunt where people come out, they have to go around, collect all the different scavenger hunts from all the small businesses. It's a good time. And he's like, you know what? I always get my biggest crowd during these events. Do you want to come back during a second Friday? I'm like, yeah, I'm free. And that week that we were going into was the second Friday. So I'm like, you know what? How about I come this Friday? So on November 8th, I went back. Here we are back in Elizabethtown on Friday, November 8th for their second Friday event. This year is 125 years of the Elizabethtown College. So I will be back at the Oddities Museum today. So let's see how this 3-hour time goes and if it's any better than the 6 hours that I was there this past Saturday. So I'm excited. Let's go see how it goes. And we did the second Friday. How did I fare compared to the first day? Well, I'm going to talk about that too. So when I showed up, it was probably close. They start around 4, but I didn't get out of work till 4:30. So I went down, got there around 5:30, carted all my stuff to the Oddities stores, got set up as quick as possible. My setup didn't look nearly as nice as the first time, but I kind of consolidated because I saw what worked and didn't work from that first time I was at the museum. And once I got set up, I went back to my car and I got Pencil Man on. Here I am dressed up for the second Friday event in E-Town. Let's see how this goes. It's time to bring Pencil Man. When I was in my costume, I started walking towards the museum, and before I even get there, people are stopping me and asking for pictures. Kids, adults, they think it's fantastic. And when I finally get to the store, it's go time. And we did get a little bit more traffic than we got on that Saturday. And it was interesting to me because I wasn't sure if I was going to do better or if I wasn't going to do as good, because I was there 3 hours as compared to the 6 hours I was there the Saturday before. And it actually ended up being about the same. I didn't sell any comic books, oddly enough. I sold a lot of stickers. I sold keychains, buttons, and I sold, I think, a standee. I had a small standee that I sold, and all of it together totaled about $35. So for the stickers, the keychains, the buttons, it all came out to about the same. So the 3-hour time slot turned out to be exactly the same as the 6-hour time slot. And it was just really fun. I interacted with a whole new group of people. And Jeremiah and I, of course, got to talk all evening, and him and I are like best friends now in a way. Not as good friends as me and Frey, but Jeremiah and I, we get along quite a bit. So it's really awesome when you get to make these connections and have these people that you can just do these things, and to have a business that likes me so much they want me to come back. Like Jeremiah has since, and I only did these 2, but has since had me back for like 5 or 6 Second Fridays. He told me anytime I want to come back and do a signing, I can do it. So hey, I'll take it. As a new emerging business, trying to get my stuff out there, trying to make a living off of this, and having to shell out money at the events to vend there in the first place, not knowing if I'm going to make a profit, this is a breath of fresh air. So super awesome, super helpful. I am just so grateful to Jeremiah and the Oddities Museum for everything that they have done for me. Like seriously, they've given me a place to go to do signings whenever I need to just be like, hey, I need to do a signing. I just want to get out there, I don't want to have to pay $150 for a weekend to vend at a show. Very helpful. So overall, for the 2 days that I was there in November, I made a total of $70. Not too bad. And I worked about a combined total of 9 hours. Is that the greatest hourly rate? No, but it's a start. This was my second and third technically event. So I was still ecstatic and just grateful to even have a chance to get my stuff out there. So that's how it went. Overall, my profit is $70, and it's a good time. So yeah, that is this episode of Uncapped. If you guys enjoy this business vlog series, definitely please be sure to give us the thumbs up, interact with this video, subscribe to the channel. We are reviving the channel. We are coming in hot. We have new content pretty much weekly now at this point. I am really seriously trying to get into it as much as possible. So definitely be sure to watch the first one if you want to know how my first event went the week prior of the first time I was at the Oddities Museum, and I have a lot more to cover. So I'm going to be trying to pump these out as quickly as possible to get caught up to present day, because I am almost half a year plus behind. So again, if you guys like this series, please be sure to give a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's see where we go. And if you want cool merch like this, check out Wham Stand, because this is super awesome. Not sponsored again, but love Matt. Super awesome dude. Check him out. Go get a Wham Stand.